Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Butterfly Effect podcast. And today we have some news for you regarding Lost Records Bloom and Rage. So, Don't Nod put out a post in the past couple of days saying that tape 2, not tape 1, but just tape 2 has been delayed. So it's no longer going to be in March, it's now going to be in April, meaning that there's going to be a 2-month gap between episodes. There are some other details that we'll get into in a minute, but mate, I just wanted your take on that. Like, what are your thoughts with the fact that we've got that gap in between the two tapes?
We sort of said that maybe like weeks or a month would be the ideal length to let like any potential cliffhanger sit. 2 months could be quite a lengthy spell where we're waiting for quite a while. I am willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. This is their new franchise, which, is going to basically be like the new Life is Strange. We've watched like the Life is Strange double exposure. It didn't really land for us, did it? So I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. They say it's to optimize like the experience, just to polish it up. And I'm all for that. Like, I'm glad they're not rushing or they're being rushed by publishers. So I'm like, yeah, pretty satisfied to wait a little bit longer. It is a bit interesting though, isn't it? Because they were originally going to release this game last year in October, but they pushed it back because Life is Strange double exposure like barged it out the way. So it is a bit confusing as to like why the game was supposedly ready in October and now it's going to be like pushed back like 6 months after that. So yeah, there are a few question marks around it, but if it means that we're going to get a more polished game, I'm kind of all for it, mate.
Got to admit, I share the same sentiment, and I sort of wonder whether they're almost using the Life is Strange game as an excuse because maybe it wasn't going to be ready, but they've now been found out that episode 2. I mean, do you know what I mean? It's or tape 2, I should say. I mean, it's all for the birds, really. I don't care that much. I do about the gap, though. I mean, I suppose this takes us neatly into the gameplay length. They have said that the length of the game is going to be 10 to 12 hours, which a 2-episode thing is quite astonishing. You're looking at 5-6 hours an episode there, and I think that is dependent on how heavily you explore, but nonetheless it is still quite the size. So, a 2-month gap, it does enable you to really take your time. And I imagine in tape 1 people are going to create other save files, I know I will, and go back and make other choices and see what's possible and stuff. But yeah, it is a little bit of a Debbie Downer that it's going to take so long because it is a new project. It is exciting, and I think sometimes when you do have these big gaps, it can suck the momentum out of a game. It's how I feel. I mentioned this like several times before with like all the various Telltale games in the past. So, I completely understand it. You certainly don't want to put out a game that's not fully ready. But yeah, I can't pretend that it's not a little bit of a Debbie Downer, like I said.
Yeah, for sure. Because with Telltale, like the game, like the episodes would be like every like 2 months they would release. So it would take you like with the 5 episodes a whole year to complete the game. And in hindsight, that is just way too much. With this, it's just 2 tapes, right? So like the whole thing will be done in 2 months. Which, is a lot more digestible, it's a lot more understandable and a lot more forgivable. But over the years, I have kind of started to resent Deck 9 and lean heavily in favour of Don't Nod. I do trust Don't Nod, so I am kind of, like I say, I am willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, a month would have been better than 2. But you know what, if it means that the game's going to be polished, it's not going to have glitches in, I think, it's their decision to do. If they think that is the smart one, then yeah, I'm all for it.
And you know what? To sort of counteract my my negativity, you should say, or our negativity, they did say in their Insta post as well that there is going to be stuff that they're going to release to keep us entertained in the gap. What that will be, I don't know. Games tend to go for different outfits now, so maybe it's some sort of DLC, maybe it's some sort of background lore to as teasing what could come in the second tape. I really don't know, but it's good that they have gone to those lengths to still engage with the fans, because like I say, you can lose momentum and people might not be as pumped up for tape 2 when it does come eventually. So another couple of details, guys. So we're going to go into the price. Just shy of $40 for those in the US, and for me and you, mate, it's going to be about 36 quid. But they have come out and said as well that you can get a limited 10% discount as well if you order the game by March 4th. So my quick take on this is I think that that's reasonably priced. I mean, obviously we haven't played the game yet, but it looks stunning for the gameplay length as well. And especially when you're comparing it to, say, Double Exposure, which I know it's probably unfair, but I think it's natural to make comparisons with this franchise. But the fact that that was like a standard 50 quid before you bought anything else, and that's roughly the same gameplay length, graphics look similar as well. So, do you know what I mean? It's all ticking boxes for Don't Nod and Lost Records at the minute for me, mate. But how about yourself?
Yeah, I think it's fairly fair. I have a little bit of an optimistic view that this game's going to be a sleeping giant, and I do think it will be a success, and I think it will grow like just as well as Life is Strange did, to be honest. So yeah, 35 quid in today's market, we should add as well, because you look at a lot of the big titles that have been coming out lately, and we see a lot of game makers slapping like 60-70 quid price tags on games. Like you said, Double Exposure leaned into that as well. So yeah, 35 quid, mate. I am willing to pay that for this game.
Yeah, there we go, guys. I mean, that was just a quick update on Lost Records. I will say again, episode 2 or tape 2 has been delayed till April 2025. Do let us know what your thoughts are and all of the details that we shared in the comments below, and we'll look forward to reading and replying to them, and looking forward in the next couple of weeks to start tape 1 of Lost Records. Take care and see you in the next one.
See you in hell, guys.